It's funny. I feel like I end up in a lot of shows that people miss. I don't know why that is, but yeah, I do feel like the Eddie is one of those. It came out. Mhm.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Bloomberg, writing for movies in Sweden.
Hey, nice to meet you, Jonathan.
The pleasure is all mine.
Mhm.
I'll just start out by saying that The Nick is probably one of my favorite TV shows of all time. This is a pleasure. And I also watched the entire series of this new show, and I'm liking that as well.
Oh, thank
Um, Yeah.
you.
So I wanted to start out with asking how much you knew about Huey P. Newton before getting involved with the project, and if you knew anything, did you know all of it?
Hmm. Well, thank you for your kind words, man. The Knicks one of my probably my favorite thing that I've ever done as well. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. Uh,
Yeah,
but years ago I was actually attached to a movie about in which Huey P. Newton was a character. The movie never got made, but during that process, I got to do a fair amount of research about him, and so I learned, pretty good amount about him at that point. But with this
yeah,
project, I felt like I needed to start all over, and so I went back to the very beginning and, you know, read everything I could find about him and talked to as many people as I could, who were willing to talk to me and did all the research and then discovered so much more about him. And yeah, I just found him to be such a fascinating, complicated character.
yeah,
Yeah.
truly. And me being from Sweden, like I've heard of the Black Panther movement through other movies and TV shows and stuff like that, but never to the extent that we get to see here. So that was really nice to go on that journey.
Mm.
I also wanted to ask about working with Don Cheadle as a director on the first two episodes, uh, because I'm thinking like working with an actor being a director, you kind of probably can bond in different ways. And I was wondering if that was the case here.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely have Don and I like a common language as actors. And so sometimes with directors who aren't comfortable working with actors, there can be a bit of a barrier. Uh, I think actors, we can be kind of strange at times and speak our own
It
language. And
goes both ways.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that goes both ways. But in this case, Don and I often could just communicate with a look. He might give me a look, and I understood that what he wanted me to do was to, go further or, you know, um, whatever it was. And so one good example of that is the scene that we shot in solitary confinement, where, we
Yeah,
talked about it a bit beforehand. And then once I got into the cell, you know, we almost did it like a play. He would say, "All right, the cameras are ready. Just do your thing." And so I would start doing it, and he might come over and offer some small suggestion, and then we just kind of kept going until we felt like we both had it. And I think, yeah, the trust that we had in each other as actor and as director allowed us to go pretty far.
yeah. I do think that you unlocked something there because I could really feel like we got to go on this journey in a really great way. So that was nice to see. And while having you here as well, I mentioned the Nick, but I also wanted to ask about the Eddie,
Hmm.
because that's such a real gem, and uh, I'm wondering if that is like a show that you feel like people missed, because I don't hear people talk about that as much as they really should.
It's funny. I feel like I end up in a lot of shows that people miss. I don't know why that is, but yeah, I do feel like the Eddie is one of those. It came out, I believe it was like right at the beginning of the pandemic when it dropped, and
Yeah,
so we weren't able to do a lot of like press around it, and it kind of came and went in a way, but I feel really proud of it. And there are still people who come up to me and say, "Oh, I saw the Eddie and I really liked it." And kind of similarly to how you mentioned the Nick. Um,
hmm,
so I feel like some people are still discovering it, which is also really nice to see.
yeah. I'm hoping this will help with
Yeah.
that. So, so
Thank you.
thanks a lot for your time today, and best of luck with the premiere of this show. I'm sure people will find this at least.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.